Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, again, good morning and thank you for joining us. Very shortly, we will establish the protocol for this occasion on which all other speakers will rest in the interest of time this morning. But thank you very much for joining us and thank you for choosing to spend your Wednesday morning with us at the official launch of the Produce for Lagos initiative.
Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, the Governor of Lagos State, other state governors here present, the Deputy Governor of Lagos, Dr. Kadri Obafemi Hamzat, the Right Honorable Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, the Chief Judge of Lagos, former governors and deputy governors here present, distinguished members of the National Assembly, our serving senators, our members of the House of Representatives, members of the Federal Executive Council here present, ambassadors, high commissioners, and heads of foreign missions, Your Royal Majesties, honorable members of the State House of Assembly, the head of service, the chief of staff, members of the State Executive Council here present, in particular our very committed Honorable Abisola Olusoya, the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Systems, Chairman of Statutory Commissions, members of the body of permanent secretaries, service commanders, the Commissioner of Police, the newly elected Chairman of Local Government and Local Government Council Development Areas, the Chairman of the foremost political party in Africa, the All Progressives Congress, members of the Governors Advisory Council, the GAC, captains of industries and other stakeholders, top government functionaries and heads of ministerial agencies, religious and community leaders, the Yaloja General and members of the Market Men and Women Associations, chairmen and members of the various unions, associations that are here, my colleagues, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Olaniwaju Bachulai, and I have here with me Mujibade Shosnoya. On behalf of the Lagos State Government, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems, we welcome you all to this very important event tagged Produce for Lagos, an initiative designed to address critical issues in Lagos State's food system. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier on, we rolled out the order of protocol. This implies that whenever we are called to speak on this podium in any capacity, with the exception of Mr. Governor, our chief host, and the other governors, if we must say anything, we will be very okay, as we say simply, Mr. Governor, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Please note that any other word or recognition after that will attract fines and will be collected or paid before we leave this program. Please tell your neighbor this is Lagos.
This is Lagos.
Welcome to Lagos. Moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, the house rule is that we keep to time because time na money. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we won't take much of our time as I invite Mujibade to do a few introductions, then we go straight into the program of the day.
All All right, thank you so much. It's an honor to work with you. Good morning, Your Excellencies, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed our honor to warmly and very specially welcome you to this momentous occasion, the official launch of the 500 billion naira Produce for Lagos initiative. Now, in a world where food systems are cracking under the pressure and weight of climate shock, rising costs, and so many other things that could affect it, Lagos State, the center of excellence and Africa's commercial capital, is not waiting to react. We have taken that bold initiative to launch what we are here for today. And I must say that this is indeed a legacy, and we're truly honored that you all have joined us today. Like it's fondly said, food security is not a privilege, rather it is a necessity, and any society that guarantees it guarantees peace. Therefore, I'm proud to announce to you that Produce for Lagos is proof that bold leadership, when matched with strategic action, can solve even the most complex challenges. Like was introduced, my name is Mujibade Shosoya. I am a professional compere and a television presenter. I'm a proud Lagosian from Ogun State. Don't worry about the mixture, but I bear both. Don't ask me how that happened, but I'm from both states. But I'm truly honored to serve as your co-host today. Today promises to be a reassuring day in the history of our nation, because we know that Lagos has taken a very bold step to tackle food security and of course accessibility across not just Lagos, because we know that the trickle-down effect will impact the rest of the nation. Without much further ado, we will get started and of course invite for the welcome address. To do the honors of welcoming you all, our very distinguished guests, and of course set the tone for what promises to be an exciting day, I'm delighted to make welcome on stage the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Systems in Lagos State. Please let us give a resounding applause for the woman who has worked tirelessly. I mean, I've been speaking with her for the past days. I'm not sure she has had more than an hour of sleep, but she's ready to welcome you, our very distinguished guest today. Please let's celebrate Ms. Abisola Olusoya, Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Systems, Lagos State. That applause can be louder, and you can sustain it till she gets off stage. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before she takes the microphone, may I inform us that we have in our midst the wife of the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Her Excellency Mrs. Oluremi Hamzat. And coming into this very important occasion, we have His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Lagos, ably represented by the traditional white cap chiefs.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. To our dear governors, we say good morning. I would like to stand on the already established protocols by the MCs for want of time, so please kindly indulge me. On this day, blessed by vision and purpose, I welcome you all to the city of aquatic splendor, where determination walks hand in hand with distinction, and that place is Lagos. From the red soils of Anambra to the green fields of Ogun, from the granaries of Niger to the fertile belt of Taraba, your presence here today tells one story, that our food systems matter, and the time to act is now. We are gathered not merely for another ceremony, but to light a fire that should never go out, with the intention that we must build a truly sovereign food system. Today, we launch a bold history-shaping intervention to rewire our food chain, reconnect our rural abundance with urban demand, and reward those who farm, trade, transport, and nourish us. This is the justice demanded from us by the tomato farmer in Zaria, whose harvest rots by the roadside. For the pepper trader in Mile 12, who pays double for logistics, yet earns half for her labor. And for the millions who sleep hungry, not because we lack food, but because we lack systems. Produce for Lagos is not just a policy, but a promise that Lagos, Africa's largest urban consumer base will no longer be fed by chance, but through coordination, commitment, and shared responsibility. And the 500 billion naira Offtake Guarantee Fund, it serves as the anchor that will give off-takers the confidence to buy, farmers the assurance to plant, financiers the boldness to invest, and Nigerians the certainty of daily nourishment. This is not the beginning of the journey, but a summit that has been patiently and intentionally climbed since the start of this administration in 2019. It began with a vision, cast in strategy, with the unveiling of the Lagos State 5-year Agricultural and Food Systems Roadmap, which laid the groundwork for everything we celebrate today. We took audacious steps with the Lagos Fresh Food Hubs, engineered to centralize aggregation, cut post-harvest losses, stabilize food prices, and create an efficient cold chain logistics backbone into our urban food supply. Today, these hubs will serve not just as warehouses, but gateways of prosperity, connecting rural abundance to city tables with speed, safety, and dignity. We planted the seeds of innovation through the Lagos Agri-Innovation Club, an ecosystem of spirited agripreneurs, tech disruptors, and youth-driven enterprises who now embody the very future of Nigerian agriculture. We saw creativity take root in eco-flavors, creating delightful meals on a budget, where our culinary artists brought taste, culture, and commerce together, proving that food is not only for consumption, but for economic expression. We brought together people at the Lagos Food Festival, a celebration of community, culture, and cuisine, which is more than an event but a movement, reconnecting citizens to the story of their food. We look to the next generation through the Lagos Agri Scholars Program and Lagos Agripreneurship Programs, raising future leaders equipped to farm with science, market with strategy, and govern with vision. And we answered the economic cry during tough times with Onjaeko, a twin intervention of the discount market, which made food accessible during times of rising inflation and global shocks, and the farmer subsidy scheme, which gave our producers the lifeline they needed to keep growing, supplying, and sustaining livelihoods. So today is not a leap of faith, but a leap of strategy. Produce for Lagos is not just about Lagos, but linking this great city to every root, stock, and grain grown across the Federation, and saying to our sister states, if you grow it, Lagos will take it, with dignity, structure, and guaranteed offtake. In Lagos, we are blessed to have a governor and the deputy governor who have since inception not viewed agriculture as an afterthought, but as the backbone of social equity, security, and a lever for youth employment. This program is their stamp on the future and blueprint for how private sector and states can collaborate, not compete, in the work of feeding our people. So I welcome you all today, not only to witness this launch, but to become part of this legacy, to join hands as off-takers, farmers, lenders, policymakers, processors, truckers, retailers, chefs, and food advocates in the story of how we change the course of our food systems and transform the lives of millions for the better. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think we can do better. Let's give her a very big round of applause.
Absolutely amazing. If it's bold, Lagos will take it, and that is so interesting to know. And we do have an impeccable leadership under Mr. Governor and of course Mr. Deputy Governor. We're truly excited for what is happening today, because we say very confidently to you that this is one like never before, and it's a bold step to transform the food security across Nigeria.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when we said we have many governors here today, many people at the back were wondering, are we really telling the truth? Well, I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we have in our midst the Deputy Governor of Ondo State, who is here in his own capacity and also representing Ondo State government. We have Dr. Olaide Owolabi Adelanu Emena. Please, a round of applause for you.
Thank you. I am honored at this point to recognize the governor of the Gateway State and the chairman, Southern Governors Forum, Nigeria, His Excellency, Prince Dapo Abiodun, CON. A round of applause for him. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, Your Excellency.
All right, I'm taking you from Ogun State to Kogi State. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have in our midst the governor of Kogi State, Mr. Ahmed Usman Ododo. Please, a round of applause for him.
Thank you. We have with us the governor who wears multiple hats. Apart from being a governor, he's also a farmer. So I'm delighted to introduce and recognize today the governor of Niger State, His Excellency, Farmer Dr. Mohammed Umar Bago. A round of applause for him. Thank you for joining us.
Well,
he's not in the room yet, but I think I was just too excited because he's also a farmer. When he comes, we'll do the recognition again. But thank you, in absentia, he will join us very shortly and we'll recognize him again.
Well, Moji, if you talk about the Gateway State, I can tell you that I boast of many governors here seated. I have here in our midst, ladies and gentlemen, the Deputy Governor of the foremost state in Nigeria, Dr. Kadri Obafemi Amzat.
All right, we also have with us, we have, of course, it's a mixture of public and private sector, so we'll do the recognitions interchangeably and recognize our partners in progress who are also here. But would like to recognize the governor of Taraba State who has joined us. We don't take it for granted in any way that he's here. Please let us celebrate His Excellency, Dr. Abu Kefas. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for joining us.
Since you have mentioned governors, I think we should just be through with the governors before we begin to talk about the private sector. This is the seat of power in Lagos, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to inform you that you have the father of over 25 million children in Nigeria, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu,
Mr. Agriculture. No, apart from other things, he's also Mr. Agriculture because he didn't just start today, because imagine when he commissioned the Imota rice mill. So it's not we're not just talking today. We've been walking this talk a long time ago. Today is just sealing everything that we have been talking about and that we have also been walking towards. So we're truly excited for today. We have joining us the Honorable Minister, we have joining us today the Honorable Minister for Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani. A round of applause for him. Thank you very much for joining us, Honorable Minister Bosun Tijani.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have to move on right now, but may I inform us that we are all secured because the man in charge of defense in the whole of Nigeria is here with us. The Chief of Defense Staff, we have General Christopher Guabin Musa. Please, a round of applause for him.
All right, I would also like to recognize the founder of Afri Capitalism and the chairman of ES Holdings. Please let's celebrate Mr. Tony Elumelu. A round of applause for him. We also have joining us the Group Managing Director and CEO, United Bank for Africa, Mr. Oliver Alawuba. A round of applause for him. Thank you very much. We would have other times during the course of this event where we will make recognitions, because we do recognize that we have a lot of distinguished personalities who have joined us at this very momentous occasion. All right, just like I said, we'll make more recognitions as we go on, but in the interest of time, we must continue with the next item on the agenda as we prepare to make further recognitions. Coming up next, for a quick remark, I will like to All right, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we're firing on in full force, and we will take the first remark today from a truly distinguished and patriotic Nigeria. We are honored to have join us today the Honorable Minister of State for Finance. Please celebrate with a warm round of applause as I bring her off stage, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite. A round of applause for her. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Good morning. I would like to stand on existing protocols, but definitely not without recognizing our chief host, His Excellency Governor Sanwo-Olu, who's made this remarkable effort here for bringing us together. The other governors who are present, my own governor, I call him my governor, he's already smiling, the governor of the Gateway State, Prince Takwabiodun. It's nice to see you here. It's nice to see the governor of Taraba State, governor of Kogi State, all the different governors, the ministers who are present, my own senator as well, representing the good people of Ilori. Okay. Our former governor just walked in. It's also very nice to see him. Also can see the distinguished royal fathers who are here. Please permit me to stand on existing protocols that has already been established.
You can cross there, there's a space enough there.
Just wait for all the pleasantries and exchanges to happen, and then we can proceed. Thank you very much. You're all welcome. And I'm here also representing the Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Chief Wale Edu. And he sends his goodwill messages as follows. It's with great honor and enthusiasm that I join you here today for the official launch of the Produce for Lagos program, a landmark initiative that not only underscores our collective commitment to national food security, but also exemplifies the transformational power of partnerships across levels of government and private sector. As the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, I recognize that there can be no sustainable economic growth without a stable, efficient, and inclusive food systems. Today's launch is not merely a ceremonial event, but it also marks a strategic shift toward an agricultural future that is intentional, investment-driven, and people-centered. Lagos State, with its dense population and economic vibrance, has reimagined its agricultural engagement not as an isolated effort, but as a collaborative venture with food-producing states. The creation of the Lagos Food Systems Infrastructure Company signals a level of seriousness that invites confidence, coordination, and capital. This initiative will unlock the productive potential of our farmers, traders, food processors, and transporters. And this will usher in new possibilities for rural prosperity, urban nourishment, and interstate economic solidarity.
It stands in full alignment with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, which identifies agriculture as both a foundational and futuristic pillar of our national development architecture. Under the visionary leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we've undertaken a suite of reforms and strategic investments. We know about the removal of the multiple exchange rates and the petroleum subsidy, but more importantly and significantly for this particular sector of the economy, the agricultural sector, the presidential initiative on compressed natural gas, the PCNG. When we say gas, you're wondering just local transportation. No, but this also plays a very significant role in lowering logistics costs and transport costs for moving food across long distances, which is an important step in reducing post-harvest losses and stabilizing food prices. The National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro-Pocket Program, which supports smallholder farmers with subsidized inputs and modern extension services to raise productivity across value chains. I know the Minister of Agriculture and Livestock are here. They will speak specifically to some of these programs. We also have the SAPZ, the Special Agro-Processing Industrial Zone, which is still ongoing, and this is in partnership with state governments, international development institutions, and private sector to promote agro-industrialization, reduce waste, and add value to locally grown produce. The launch of the National Food Security Emergency Plan, targeting the immediate cultivation of over 500,000 hectares of priority staples such as maize, rice, wheat, and cassava to mitigate food supply shocks and increase food availability. The reform of the commodity exchanges, especially the Nigerian Commodity Exchange, which aims to improve market access, ensure better price discovery, and incentivize quality production. A renewed commitment to mechanization, irrigation, and climate-smart agriculture, ensuring that Nigeria's food systems are not only productive, but also resilient to climate and market shocks. In demonstration of Nigeria's renewed global partnerships, the federal government recently signed a $1 billion strategic agreement with the government of Brazil under the Green Imperative Program. This landmark initiative is aimed at modernizing Nigeria's agricultural landscape through the provision of 10,000 tractors, modern farm implements, and agro-processing equipment. This project includes the establishment of service and training centers across the country to equip Nigerian farmers, mechanics, and extension workers with the skills to operate and maintain modern machinery. It will also lead to the creation of agro-processing hubs, further supporting the government's vision to move from primary production to value addition and export competitiveness. Ultimately, the Green Imperative Program will help transform Nigeria's largely subsistence farming into mechanized, commercially viable, and globally competitive agribusiness sector. Along crop production, the federal government is committed to the revitalization of Nigeria's livestock industry, which holds vast untapped potential for economic growth and food security. Nigeria's National Economic Council also approved the National Livestock Growth Strategy aimed at increasing the sector's value from $32 billion to $74 billion within the next 5 years. This ambitious growth plan will be driven by the private sector following the Brazilian model. It is our belief that through this roadmap, we can modernize our livestock systems and build a globally competitive, resilient industry. In this context, the creation of the $5 billion or 5 billion naira Offtake Guarantee Fund by the Lagos State is a bold, did you say 5 billion? Oh, I'm sorry. 500 billion naira, the dollar keeps coming to my mind. Maybe, Governor, we should take you up on that challenge and make it a $500 billion Offtake Guarantee Fund. Why not? The 500 billion naira Offtake Guarantee Fund by the Lagos State government is a bold and timely intervention. It is more than financing. It is an assurance. It tells every farmer that their sweat will be matched with sustainability, every agribusiness that their risks will be reduced, and it tells every investor that agriculture is bankable, investable, and scalable. We had a conference yesterday, and I listened to one of the governors from also an agro-processing state, and he said, we're talking about industrialization. Agriculture is our major production. However, we cannot industrialize agriculture because we cannot guarantee the production. And now, with this creation of this fund, we can now guarantee production. And when you can guarantee that when you put up a processing plant, that the input into that processing plant is guaranteed, then investors can go to work. The factories can begin to work, and then they can then employ people and reduce unemployment and poverty. The Produce for Lagos is also not a program. It is a platform to build trade corridors between the north and the south, a platform to harmonize logistics, digitize the supply chains, and connect ecosystems. It speaks to the very heartbeat of our economic strategy of integration, innovation, and inclusion. Let me commend Governor Sanwo-Olu and the visionary team behind these projects for their leadership and clarity of purpose. I also extend my heartfelt congratulations to every farmer, entrepreneur, and policy maker, and of course investor who sees themselves reflected in this program. As we officially make this initiative public, let it be a call to action for all stakeholders to join hands in building a future where Lagos feeds itself and where Nigeria feeds itself and contributes meaningfully to national food sufficiency. Thank you for having me here, and long live the spirit of interstate collaboration and agricultural transformation in Nigeria. Thank you very much, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. For the woman that turned naira to dollars, you know what that means. Please, a very big round of applause for her. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I please appeal to us for whatever goodwill messages we're bringing. Let's restrict it to 2 minutes because our time is fast spent. Ladies and gentlemen, may I inform us that we have more governors coming in, and we have already seated in our midst Dr. Afis Abolore Alabi, the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, representing the Governor of Kwara State. Please, a round of applause for him. We also have the representative of the Governor of Ekiti State, who is Mrs. Omotayo Adeola, the Honorable Commissioner for Trade, Investment, Industry, and Cooperative. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, I'd like to invite to the podium to give his goodwill message the Honorable Minister for Digital Communications, Dr. Bosun Tijani.
Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Your Excellency, my Governor, my uncle, Prince Dapo Abiodun, permit me to use you as a point of contact for all the other governors in the room today, and of course all other senior government officials in the room as well. My chairman, Mr. Tony Elumelu, again permit me to use you as a point of contact for all the private sector representatives in the room today. Distinguished guests, let me begin, and I'm pretty sure we all agree to this, by applauding the Lagos State government under the leadership of the Executive Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for the sheer ambition of the Lagos Offtake Guarantee Program. We should give him a round of applause and the state for this. I think we all agree that this program is one of the most visionary food security intervention, and I'm tempted to say almost along the side of what's being done by my governor in Ogun State, of course, but also I know Niger State and Kogi State is doing a lot in this area as well. But for today, we're here to celebrate this amazing initiative because, as we all know, it brings structure to the fragmented food ecosystem and give farmers and food producers the most valuable incentive of all, which is a guaranteed and ready market for their produce. In addition, this program provides support for us to deliver on the clear mandate by His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for us to address food security by cultivating 500,000 hectares of land in Nigeria. Many people may not know that I'm an active farmer myself. My governor gave me that mandate that I must farm. So today I cultivate about 350 hectares of farm in Ogun State, which I'm very proud of. And as such, I fully understand the weight of the risk that producers carry with the challenges that come with market unpredictability, which of course discourages investment and increased productivity in the sector. What we're launching today, therefore, changes that equation across agricultural value chain by absorbing the associated risk and unlocking confidence and setting the stage for real growth in the sector, not just in Lagos but across the country. But as you can imagine, as the Minister of Digital Economy, I have to reiterate, Governor, that we cannot sustain and scale this ambition without technology. With technology, farmers from out of state can know the real time and demand that exists in Lagos State, which is one of the most significant markets in Nigeria and beyond. Supply chains can be tracked using sensors, GPS and blockchain technology to reduce loss, increase transparency and enforce quality. As we can all see already in Nigeria, payments, contracts, and logistics can be digitized with technology. This is why the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, following the instruction of His Excellency, Mr. President, we are rolling out 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cables across Nigeria. We're deploying 7,000 rural connectivity towers, and we're training 3 million technical talents, many of whom are already building platforms that will power agriculture, logistics, and trade. Lagos State, as Nigeria's economic nerve center, has the demand density, the capital, and the entrepreneurial ecosystem to pioneer new kind of food system, one that is powered by intelligence and coordination. I'm proud, in whatever ways possible, of course, to support Lagos State in this journey through the work we're doing in my ministry with digital infrastructure, innovation, and the talents to match this ambition. This program sets the vision that we've all been waiting for. Technology ensures we can deliver on that vision with speed, efficiency, and skill. Let me close by saying this is how we build a resilient city. This is how we empower the producers. And this is how we feed our future. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think we can give a better round of applause for the Honorable Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I had recognized the Governor of the Power State earlier, but he's now in the room, so please let's give a round of applause for the Executive Governor of Niger State, His Excellency, Farmer, Dr. Mohammed Umaru Bagu. Thank you very much for joining us, Your Excellency. We're truly honored to have you here. We also have with us the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. Thank you very much for joining us, Honorable, today. The Chairman, Senate Committee on Agri, distinguished Senator Saliu Mustafa, is also here. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Representing the President of Afrexim Bank, Professor Benedict Orama, we're truly GCON. We're truly honored to have Executive Vice President of Afrexim Bank, Mr. Atham El Mayagi. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm just recognizing. Thank you. All right, thank you. Now, in the interest of time and just to respectfully, observe all the protocols that have been set, we have so many governors here. First of all, I must acknowledge that this says a lot about the future of the country. We are definitely several steps in the right direction. So thank you so much to all the distinguished governors who have joined us, all the state players and federal players who have joined us, our partners from the private sector. We thank you very specially. However, we are trying to keep to time, so we have 2 minutes for each speaker. And I'm honored to bring up the next speaker today for a goodwill message for 2 minutes, the Honorable Minister of Livestock Development, Alhaji Idi Mukhtar Mahir. A round of applause for him as he comes off stage for the next 2 minutes. So, 2 minutes and your time starts now.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I humbly and respectfully recognize everyone that is here. I want to first extend the apologies of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security for his inability to come here today, as equally involved in other equally important state matters. So please, Your Excellency, our Chief Host, accept his apology. I bring glad tidings and fraternal greetings from the youngest ministry of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. I cannot stand here on behalf of 58 million cows, 124 million goats, 60 million sheep, 9.3 million pigs, 600 million birds, 700,000 camels, 410,000 donkeys, and only speak for 2 minutes. Your Excellency, this is an epoch-making investment venture. When Mr. President created the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development exactly 1 year ago, the first of its kind since 1st October 1960, this program couldn't have come at a better time with the creation of the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. When I look at the logo, 5 in red with 2 baskets of vegetables and crops, Your Excellency, there is something missing. Lagos is the biggest consumer of red meat in Nigeria and in West Africa. I can't see any meat there. But I take comfort that the 5 that is written in red represents red meat. Can you clap for the governor? Your Excellency, the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development was created to transform the Nigerian livestock sector into modern, resilient, sustainable, and globally competitive industry. How do we do that? We have 10-point pillars. I'm not going to bore you with that. But number 1, and that ties up with this investment vision, we are going into a massive and aggressive breed improvement that will give us the best breeds that can be found anywhere under the scientific research. And we have already started that. You remember we met in Brazil, and we are continuing with that development. We are also going into massive pasture cultivation. Without fodder, there is no livestock. Number 3, we are also aggressively pursuing peace building. We have inventorized 417 grazing reserves across the country, and we have already started talking to the pastoralists. In fact, we have launched one in Wase, the other in Gombe, and we are also going to aim at Taraba State, and of course, Niger and Kogi State. All the pastoralists will have to be resettled so that those centers will serve as breeding centers for excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished excellencies, this program today probably is the single most important investment to have happened to agriculture and livestock in the history of this country. We in the livestock sector, we are poised to key into this and benefit not only Lagos but the entire nation and across. We are aggressively pursuing the red meat sector today. We do not want to continue in the trade of live animals. We are aggressively pursuing the option of meat processing so that we export meat under cold chain packaging all over the country. Apart from looking at the basin today in the southwest, that by our estimation is about 40 million human beings with very, very effective purchasing power. We are conscious of that, and we are working towards making sure that we stop trade in live animals and we process the meat and package it across all over the country. In fact, we have very, very strong appetite for export of meat. Already, my counterpart has alluded to the fact of our own national livestock growth acceleration strategy, growing the sector from 32 billion to 74 billion in the next 5 years. It's a very, very ambitious one, but we are not scared. We can do it. We can do it. So we are here to congratulate His Excellency for this ambitious program, for this ambitious investment, and we are also making ourselves available to partner with Your Excellency to make sure that we drive this forward. The ministry is creating the necessary environment for private sector investment. We know what is happening, and we do believe that Nigeria has something to offer, not only to Nigerians, but to Africa. As I'm talking to you today, we have a lot of investment commitment from the Gulf states for feed and fodder, for red meat, as well as leather works. So once again, Your Excellency, thank you very much, and we want to put ourselves available, the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, to partner with you so that we give effect to that 500 billion naira investment proposal. We are going to be there, and I want to tell you that half of it, or less even up in 3/4, will go to livestock, because nobody today I know, I've lived in Lagos for 10 years, nobody takes water without meat. Talk close to feeding food. Once again, thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. That was 2 minutes, 15 seconds.
So it's $1 million per second. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite, especially to the podium, to give his goodwill message, the Chief of Defense Staff, Nigerian Armed Forces, General Christopher Gwabin Musa Oefa.
Thank you very much. I think I was coming on stage so fast. Well, it is agri we are talking about, so, and as farmers, we are always ready. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, our own dear Babajide Olusola Osanwo-Olu, wants to say a very big thank you and congratulations for this massive program. This is a bold step, and I'm very happy to see a number of governors are here, ministers, they have keyed up into this, and it shows that the renewed agenda is working. For us as members of the armed forces, security is not only the physical security, but food security is critical. For the armed forces, soldiers march on their stomachs. If we don't eat, we can't move. So it is very, very dear to us. And we believe for every nation, a nation must be able to feed its people, because that's the first form of security. An angry man, a hungry man is an angry man. So we believe once this works well, and it's going to work well, and I'm sure all other governors have also keyed in, we will make positive impacts, and all these aspects of insecurity will gradually diminish. Thank you very much. It is indeed with great honor that I join the government and good people of Lagos State at the launch of the Produce for Lagos program and the 500 billion Offtake Guarantee Fund. an initiative that clearly reflects Lagos' unwavering commitment to innovation, sustainability, and inclusive development. This bold and visionary program, led by the Lagos State Government in collaboration with the private sector and the Lagos Food Systems Infrastructure Company, comes at the most critical time when our nation urgently requires resilient strategies to strengthen food systems and economic security. The drive to create a data-driven agricultural framework through the Lagos State Agri and Food System Roadmap 2021 is commendable and demonstrates a deep understanding of the role that food security plays in overall national development. I am particularly pleased that the organizers have recognized the vital link between food security, physical security, and national security. Indeed, agriculture remains the fastest and most sustainable means of lifting citizens out of poverty, creating millions of jobs along the value chain, and ensuring a stable society. The armed forces of Nigeria stand ready to support such non-kinetic initiatives, knowing fully that the absence of hunger and unemployment is often the first line of defense against insecurity. Through targeted special purpose vehicles such as LAF Cinco, Ecolog, the Lagos Bulk Trading Company, and the Produce of Lagos Fund, this program is building a replicable model that will enhance logistics, boost food production, and secure the livelihoods of countless Nigerians, not just in Lagos, but across the Federation. And I want to mention here clearly that for us, in order to address insecurity, two things are basic. We must be able to control the movement of animals across the region. In doing that, it's important that we create ranches. Ranches will do a great deal in securing our country and will prevent the conflict between the farmer and herders clashes. Again, secondly, we must learn to stop killing animals crossing into farms. In the past, what is done is you arrest the animal and compensations are made. And I think if we are able to address those two things, over 65% of the challenges we're having against farmers will be dealt with. So I think that's something we should think about, and that's something we must be able to protect. Let me commend the Lagos State Government for continuing its well-established legacy of excellence in governance. Mr. Governor will say a very big thank you. You have continued to show the way and will continue to follow. Just yesterday I was in Kaduna, where the Kaduna State Governor also donated some hands in collaboration with the Qataris. It shows that non-kinetic efforts does far better than the kinetic efforts. The kinetic can only give you about 30% of the solution. 70% is non-kinetic, and this is one of it. I want to encourage you and say a very big thank you, sir. The state's high human development index of 0.721 and its projected gross domestic product growth from 54.77 trillion in 2021 to 66.47 trillion in 2025 speak volumes about the depth of vision and continuity in policy that successive administrations have sustained. I extend heartfelt appreciation to His Excellency Governor Babajide Oluwaseun for not only initiating and sustaining bold programs like this, but also preserving the visionary foundations laid by His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu CFR and built upon by his successors. I want to also give you one story behind. In 2017, I was made the first executive director that established the Nigerian Army Farms and Ranches in Kaduna. We have a standard ranch around Giri, opposite the University of Abuja. And one person that has continued to assist us while we were discussing was Prince Samuel. Prince Samuel met me in 2017, and we have been discussing such things and planning and having this dream that something like this should be established in Nigeria. So I want to also commend him for remaining consistent in ensuring that this also takes place, and we're very happy to be part of it. My advice, sir, again, is for other states to link up so that whatever is being produced is not wasted, because we have issues of when farmers produce, it goes into waste, and that discourages farmers. But once we have off-takers that are ready to grab everything that is produced, farmers will be able to scale up. And we are blessed as a nation because we have arable, fertile land that is very good for crop production. Finally, I extend gratitude to the organizers of this occasion for the kind invitation and applaud their strategic foresight in investing in targeted sum of 500 billion in this transformation and endeavor. This is a bold and aggressive approach to improving the lives of Lagosians and will no doubt serve as a national benchmark. The Armed Forces of Nigeria remains open and willing to partner with the state in this laudable, non-kinetic approach to building security and resilience. I also use this opportunity to thank Mr. President, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his unwavering support to the security architecture of our nation. May God grant him continued wisdom and strength to replicate at the national level the remarkable governance blueprint he once implemented here in Lagos. I congratulate you all. God bless Lagos State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Lagos, Konibajeo.
Thank you very much. I think we can give him a bigger round of applause.
Thank you very much, the Chief of Defense Staff, Nigerian Armed Forces, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, OFR. I noticed that my co-host didn't give him 2 minutes. If I were him too, I won't dare say 2 minutes for the Chief of Defense Staff. But thank you so much for all that you do in ensuring regional and national security. Thank you for your presence here and also for lending your voice, and much more than your voice, your support to these cause. Thank you very much, Chief of Defense Staff. Now, moving on very quickly, we will take the representative of the President of Afreximbank, Professor Benedict Orama, GCON. He's ably represented today by the Executive Vice President, Global Trade Bank, Mr. Haytham El Bayani. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you. And as usual, we have 2 minutes.
Hello. Your Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, Governor Babajide Olusegun Sanwo-Olu, please permit me to stand on the established protocol. On behalf of Professor Benedict Orama, GCON, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of Afreximbank, it's a pleasure to convey our warmest greetings and congratulations to the Lagos State Government on the launch of the Produce for Lagos program. It's not just a celebration of a new program, it's a bold and timely step towards ensuring food security, economic inclusion, and sustainable growth. The vision behind the initiative anchored in the Lagos State Agriculture and Food System Roadmap is actually commendable, and we are proud to witness it taking shape today. A proud member state of Afreximbank, Nigeria holds a special place in our work. Having received approximately $52 billion in trade and development finance to date, we reflect with this our deep and sustainable partnership to supporting Nigeria industrial, agriculture, health, infrastructure and development. Afreximbank is deeply committed to strengthen Africa agriculture sector. We have deployed a number of support from innovation finance instrument, capacity building to policy advocacy and strategic initiatives that is designed specially to what we say culture food security program. We are mobilized $2 billion in financing, scale up production, processing and intra-Africa agriculture trade across the continent. Our goal is simple, to reduce dependence on food imports and create stronger infra-Africa trade in agricultural products. We're also investing in infrastructures and institutions that matters in this area, such as the Africa Quality Assurance Center, and we launched already on Ogun State, which is providing testing, inspection, certification for food, agriculture, and agro-processing to help you export. We also support the development of industrial parks for industrialization to add value to food. We also established the Africa Trade and Distribution Company that is mandated to deliver intelligence, logistics, financing to MSME, small farmers, and informal cross-border traders and larger companies. But most importantly, we also launched a Pan-Africa digital platform that will help you export. The African Trade Gateway that address barriers to trade and investors, give you market access, and we urge all that works in this area to register and start to show Nigeria produce across Africa and exports. So collectively, all these initiatives empower Africa agriculture stakeholders to increase output, unlock new markets, and enhance competitiveness continent-wide. Lagos State Government's effort, especially the establishment of Lagos Food System Infrastructure Company and the N500 billion Offtake Guarantee Fund, perfectly align with this broader vision. These are powerful tools that will unlock access to market, finance, and value addition for thousands of agri-businesses and farmers. We salute the leadership of Lagos State and all partners involved. This today serves not just as a launch, but as a call to action, to collaborate, to invest, and to innovate together for the future of African agriculture. Africans stand ready to support the journey. We wish they produce for Lagos program every success. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think it deserves a bigger round of applause. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're moving forward now. We'll have expert insights, and I'd like to invite Mr. Michel Zilling, Consul General of the Kingdom of Netherlands, to speak to us, to give us an expert insight into the transformative effect of markets. Please, a round of applause for him. He has just 2 minutes to do this. Thank you very much. Please, let's keep applauding him.
Mr. Michael, Consul General.
Thank you very much. And what a great pleasure and honor it is to be here in such a full house that I can't even see the people at the back, so many people. Allow me to stand on existing protocol, but allow me also to thank Mr. Governor of Lagos State and the Honorable Commissioner to bring us here together. And also all the farmers in the house, whether they be ministers and farmer, or governors and farmer, or military and farmer, or maybe in my case, diplomat and farmer, but I'm a very small scale farmer in tomatoes and cucumbers. We are here for a reason, and when we drove up here, I came here with a very warm feeling in my heart. And let me tell you a little bit why that is the case, without going further than the 2 minutes. About more than 10 years ago, the Netherlands decided to invest in agriculture in Nigeria. And sometimes you sort of have a feeling of despair, say, does this really work? Can we see the results? Nigeria is such a huge country. We need to make so many steps to get there. And today, actually, and I can say that we started this process in 2013 from our side, today we can see where this has brought us, and the results are there. There was a reason why Mr. President called for a state of emergency in food security 2 years ago. And this is part of the solution. We had many discussions in our office those years ago, and we thought the issue is feeding the city. A city like Lagos, with a huge population as it has, obviously doesn't have enough land mass to grow, to feed itself. So different studies were undertaken by Dutch agricultural universities, and we created a roadmap with different states in the Southwest. And the issue was always the food production areas are somewhere else. So over the course of years, we invested through different programs that we have, the 2-scale program, the Horti Nigeria program, to improve production of horticultural products in Kano, Kaduna, Oyo, and Ogun states. All with a view to bring those products to the markets in Lagos. But of course, as I said, we as the Netherlands, although we have the expertise in agriculture, we cannot do this alone. We chipped in, we did some things on the production side, and basically also on the receiving end in Lagos State. But there is a gap in the middle, the distribution, the warehousing, and all these other things that we could not fill ourselves. And I'm so happy to see, for example, all the trucks outside. That shows you that the pieces of the puzzle are coming together. Finally, let me share a brief example from the Netherlands on market systems. Because what we see here is also a way to formalize informal markets and to formalize things whereby farmers will have more security, and those who are on the buying end will also have more security of supply. One of the examples we have in the Netherlands is the Royal Flora Holland, which is a cooperative of producers, a cooperative of farmers, where the price, and it was also mentioned by the Honourable Minister of Communication and Digital Infrastructure, that the price should be seen, should be visible online for those who are buying and those who are selling. The system we have in the Netherlands is a combination of the value chain, transport, storage, distribution. The price is actually set in our system by the farmer. The farmer sets a minimum price for which he or she wants to sell their products. And then it's up to the buyer with the famous Dutch auction system, whereby the price actually goes down. You start at a higher price and the price goes down until there is a bidder, and that's the person or the company that buys. This is a system that has also been visited by several delegations from Nigeria to see how we can combine all these things, the logistics, the infrastructure, the reward to the producers, and the security to the farmers. A percentage of the price then goes into the cooperative to sustain the system. And it's just one of many examples. But it shows you that if you structure your system and if prices are transparent, that farmers will produce more. The demand is there, but the supply needs to meet up with it. So we are very happy to continue our engagement with Lagos State and with Nigeria in the food security sector. As I keep on saying, and I'm sure you will agree with me, Nigeria needs a green revolution, because the way it has been going so far in the production of food is not sustainable for the number of people that we have in this beautiful country. People are entitled to food. Farmers are entitled to have a good price. So the green revolution must happen. And if I see what has been done today in Lagos State, the wait was worthwhile. And I think the green revolution has started today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for bringing us the Netherlands experience. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Dr. Abimbola Adegboye, FSSC Associate Auditor, to give us an expert insight on food standards challenges. Please, a round of applause for him. Dr. Abimbola Adegboye.
Your Excellencies, the Executive Governors, standing on the existing protocol, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am to speak to food standard challenges, spoilage and health implications. And I'm so grateful to be invited to this program, and I really want to commend those who put in this topic into this session. There are three things I want us to know before leaving this place. And number one is that for food standards, there are consequences when they are poorly implemented or when they are not there. There are consequences when food standards are poorly implemented. Number two, I would like us to be able to identify and to know that there are gaps in the national food supply chain. We have a good enough food national supply chain, but there are gaps here. Number 3, for each and every one of us that are here, I would like us to know that we have roles to play, whether as executives or as consumers or as producers, and we must take this seriously. Talking about food standards are technical standards. They are regulations, meaning they are mandatory and they are not voluntary nor optional. They must be complied with. Why are they mandatory? Because they ensure safe products and quality of products. They help protect consumers' health. They promote trade and they ensure fair practices. However, there are consequences when they are breached. I will come to consequences later on. For technical and standard regulations, do we have them in Nigeria? And how many are they? There are several of them in Nigeria. We have more than 100 on food and food products. We have more than 239 with codes. For food standards that you may want to have and they are not available, you can get to Codex Alimentarius and get them. 58 Code of Practices. And we have more than 2,000 with International Standards Organization on agriculture alone. So it would be a fallacy for anybody to think that there are no standards for whatsoever you want to produce. And if Lagos State is going to be taking so much supplies from every part of the country, then it is pertinent for Lagos State government to put out standards and specifications for what they want, so that it will not be a case of Oluwu for Uraku. We need somebody that has money, is not using his money to buy poisons. May that not be our portion. Are they adequate? Yes, to a large extent, at least for the basics. And where are these standards domiciled? With standard bodies and regulators. We have them with SON, Standard Organization of Nigeria, which is the repository of standards in Nigeria. We have them with NAFDAC. We have them with Codex Alimentarius Commission, ISO, OIA, Organization International Epizootics for Animal Products and Animal Health. We have them with World Trade Organization, and we have them with IPPC. So what are the consequences of poor standard implementation? To farmers, poor reputation, you have risk of litigation. To consumers, you have compromised edge, pure value for money and man-hour loss. You have untimely death. To government, you have loss of man-hours due to sicknesses and increased public aid on spending and might lead to death. Now, there are grave situations in Nigeria food safety system. I would like us to know that in the study we carried out, mycotoxins are issues, heavy metals are issues, pesticide residues are issues. So what do we need to do? In the Nigerian food supply, we realize that there are problems in the early parts of it, from the primary producers. There is nobody controlling them. There is nobody monitoring the safety system. And there is nobody making sure that they comply with the standards. However, that is not to say that food that is supplied from our farmers and others are poor. They are. But we find out that some of them are unsafe due to wrong use of pesticides, excessive use of pesticides, and this is causing great problem. So what can we do? What can we do now that we have identified the gaps? Ungoverned spaces must be governed by government. Weak, non-existent state government attention to safe and quality primary production in the states and local government areas must be taken care of. We find that there are ADPs, agricultural development programs in the states have been collapsed. they are no longer existing. And these are the ones that help to serve on the farm, to guide the farmers, to help them see that the right things are done. I'm rounding up now. I want to give us some food for thought as conclusion. Number one, EU and later UK has banned export of Nigerian dry beans into their countries since 2015. And they have been unyielding, and the ban still subsists to date. Yet, we continue to eat our beans. So what does that mean? Does that mean that they don't know what they are doing, or they're being wicked to us, or we are just being careless? No wonder cases of cancer is on the increase. Sesame seed is one of the high forest yielding produce in Nigeria. Recently, it has come under threat of ban from our trade partners due to high pesticide residues and microdal contents. And this is being used for vegetable oil production. Who will help helpless consumers and also help safeguard trade. These are the thoughts for us. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abimbola Adeboye. Very quickly, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, I know people have questions, and they say that a picture says 1,000 words, but we have curated a special video that will say more than 1,000 words and address the produce for Lagos. So if you'd please indulge me, your excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, kindly focus your attention to the multimedia screen as we show you a video that will set the context.
Recognized as one of the world's fastest growing megacities, Lagos has a high level of urbanization. However, its available land falls short of what is required to produce enough food for its rapidly expanding population. With an estimated population of over 24 million and a growth rate of 2.6%, Lagos is projected to exceed 40 million residents by 2040. Currently, the annual value of food transactions in the state is estimated at 14 trillion naira. In line with the 5-year agricultural and food systems roadmap launched in 2021, Lagos State is repositioning to reorganize and strengthen food supply, both internally and externally, through strategic collaboration with public and private sector stakeholders. A central pillar of this transformation is the Produce for Lagos program. Produce for Lagos is a strategic initiative of the Lagos State government developed in partnership with the private sector to transform the agricultural landscape for the benefit of the people. The program is laser focused on boosting agricultural output to ensure a stable and sustainable food supply for Lagos and other major markets across Nigeria. It will also enhance food availability, accessibility, and affordability, comparable to global cities such as London, Paris, and Dubai. Under this initiative, food markets will be reorganized to benefit all players, especially smallholder farmers, food traders, logistics providers, storage and warehousing companies, financial institutions, technology innovators, partnering state governments, and more. Additionally, the program aims to address the informal and uncoordinated flow of food into Lagos by deploying a data-driven framework that enables tracking, planning, and optimization of food supply into the state. Key components of this initiative include strengthening ties with major food-producing states, enhancing supply chain efficiency, reducing food prices and post-harvest losses, guaranteeing market access for farmers and agribusinesses, creating sustainable livelihoods across the agricultural value chain. These outcomes align with the federal government's Renewed Hope agenda, which places agriculture and food security at the heart of national development. Undoubtedly, Lagos is poised to lead as a reliable off-taker and strategic partner in building a resilient, integrated, and inclusive agricultural economy. The Produce for Lagos program is expected to have far-reaching impacts across agriculture, infrastructure, trade, and the broader economy. It will reorganize rural-urban food networks, deepen interstate trade, create jobs across participating states, and reinforce national food security. making it a catalyst for Nigeria's long-term economic stability. Success metrics include contribution of 7.5 million metric tons of additional food for Lagos, reduced reliance on food imports, annual declines in food prices and food inflation, job creation for many within 3 years, 40% reduction in post-harvest losses in participating states within the first year, increased internally generated revenue and tax receipts from the agriculture sector. The long-standing gaps in Nigeria's agriculture and food systems will be significantly bridged. Produce for Lagos will connect production clusters to markets, strengthen logistics, and support state-level programs. This is not just another intervention. It is the launching pad for a legacy, a reorganization of Nigeria's food systems that benefits one and all.
If we want to clap, let's clap very well for Lagos State Government. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I ask Moji to give us the surprise package, may I inform us that we have in our midst the representative of the Jigawa State Governor in person of Honorable Farouk Adamu Ali.
Thank you very much, Honorable, for joining us. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, indeed today is an epoch-making event, because just as we're watching that video, it has sparked a lot of things in different people who are sat in this room. At this point, I'm truly honored to bring up for a surprise announcement, because we do have one of our fund partners. So for the fund for the Produce for Lagos, one of our fund partners will be coming up stage very shortly to speak to us. This man, although he always wears a red tie, if you cut his skin, his blood is green, because he's a true patriot and he loves Nigeria to the core. He's the architect of Afri-Capitalism, the chairman of ES Holdings. You know who I'm talking about. Please give a resounding applause as I make welcome on stage Mr. Tony Elumelu, CON, for an announcement today. That applause is not sufficient for Mr. Tony Elumelu. Thank you very much.
Your Excellencies, okay, we don't know no protocol, but Governor, I call him my governor because I'm a Lagos indigene. Governor, thank you so much for this initiative. Food security is very, very important. A hungry person is an angry person. And when I got the invitation for this event, I said immediately I'll cancel my other engagements. One, because of who you are and how you support private sector in Lagos in particular. But equally important is the fact that this is a very, very, very important initiative that all of us should very proudly associate and identify with. I see you are seated with flanked by governors who are strong on farming. Not long ago we were in Taraba, and my friend and brother there is agric governor. Your Excellency, we have a lot of unemployment in our country. Agriculture, food systems, these are very important in helping us fix the issue of youth unemployment and rest events. What you and your team are doing here and what other governors are doing in their state, collectively, in a few years' time, will help us fix the challenge of joblessness of our young ones. We believe that joblessness is a great betrayal of our young people. They shouldn't be jobless. We have arable land, as Minister also said. So all of us will work together to make this vision, this initiative a reality. You have done your own. Afri-Capitalism is about the private and public sector partnering to make life better for everyone, put simply. And so we, as private sector, will support you. As soon as I got the invitation, I told the group managing director of UBA that he will come here with me, and he's here. And I told the president CEO of Transcorp Group also that she should come here. UBA for funding, Transcorp for also learning and seeing how they can key into this initiative. So, Your Excellency, when your first call to launch or to support on is a tricky job. You can go too small and discourage others, or you go too high. But let's say, Your Excellency, if you recall, during COVID, we supported Lagos State, first organization to support Lagos State, 1 billion naira there. Lagos is home to all of us, and indeed it's one state where, you're at home. If I argue with the original Lagosian self or something, it's like my right in Lagos. So it's our initiative, and whatever Your Excellency you want us to do as United Bank for Africa, at Transcorp Group, at Tony Elumelu Foundation, as SODs, we will do. So, and then I know your people who are part of this, Sholape and Co, we know them very, very well. So we will support this. Can I whisper to Your Excellency? Okay, I'll whisper to Your Excellency. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You can see that my shoulders are up now.
That will be the loudest whisper. Whispers that are loud.
I wish I could just ask that I'll whisper into the ears of Mr. Governor.
So you can whisper into my ears, I'll help.
The only thing I can whisper into his ears is to say thank you. Today is our payday in Lagos State Government. And I can see, you see when things like this are happening,
so we'll support this initiative with 25 billion naira.
In case you missed it, 25 billion naira. Thank you.
I don't know what to say. But what I want to say, Mr. Governor, sir, when I grow up, I want to be like Tony Elumelu.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tony Elumelu, CFR, a man who isn't just building businesses, but also consciously building Africa. Thank you for your generous donation today. Thank you for your support, and thank you for being a part of this cause. We're moving on very quickly, and we will like to recognize very specially the governor of Benue State, the food basket of the nation. Would like to recognize Governor Hyacinth Aliete today by the Benue State Agricultural Development Company representative, Mr. Donald Akuli. Thank you very much for joining us, the Managing Director of the Benue State Agricultural Development Company. Let's give him a round of applause, please. Thank you. All right, we're moving on now, and we're going to be speaking to Lagos State Agriculture Transformation, the partnership that works. What we will first do before we bring up the speaker is to show you a video we have also curated to speak on this partnership. Right after the video is done, we will have on stage the chairman, Origin Tech Group, Prince S.J. Samuel. Can we have the video, please? And one more time, let's focus our attention to the multimedia screen.
Thank you very much. You can see that we are not joking here at all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to quickly look at the Lagos State Agricultural Transformation, the partnership that works. And we want to invite upstage our lead partner from the private sector. I'd like to invite the chairman, Origin Tech Group, Prince S.J. Samuel.
What can I say? All we can say is thank you, Jesus. And we want, please give me this privilege to ask Mr. Governor to stand up, and the Deputy Governor, and Mr. Speaker. And why? Please, sir, please, thank you. It's because it is a partnership that works. Thank you. Thank you. It is a partnership that works. I want to thank you for this audacity. I remember when all this started, and even before your ESCO, please sit down, sirs. We met with the governor and the deputy governor before even the ESCO was inaugurated, and said, look, food waste is a problem. And it's the reason why there is no investment in agriculture. It's the reason why we have high inflation. It's the reason why Lagos and Nigeria food system is not working. And why? Because we, as a group, in 2012-2014, we lost over $100 million to agriculture. And it was really a defining moment for our group. And after all the studies, we realized that the key thing that wasn't there was organization. Organizing the market to enable production and guarantee supply. Basically, and you see, as basic as that is, it has eluded Nigeria for 40 years. One of our studies was Rungi's International and about 5 different markets around the world. We saw that Charles de Gaulle, immediately after the Second World War, started a revolution, and part of which was to organize the market for supply of food for Paris. And he built Rungi's, which took 9 years to build. In fact, it took about 4 years to just cut and fill and prepare the land. And so when we met the governor, he said, how can this work? I said, it can work, sir. So again, remembering those very early days and where we have come today, I want to say thank you for your audacity, for your courage, and for taking on this project from inception till now. We just showed you 2 of the projects. There are 7 similar projects around the state, set all for commissioning this year. And we also want to thank God for today, because part of this partnership is what you can see outside. When we called on our friends in the US and everywhere and said we need cold trucks, we need investment, Ecolog came forth and this XPV was created. They bought 150 units of truck, cold and dry trucks. Each of these trucks can travel 2,500 kilometers on LNG, not CNG. They are LNG trucks. And why? Because it's more condensed and can travel further. So, Taraba Governor, sir, this truck to go to Taraba and back to Lagos without refueling once. And this is audacity. That's what must be done. It's not easy. But you will imagine that a country of $33 billion in food consumption annually, we have not been able to put this together. But now, all those are a thing of the past. Every trader, every farmer can and take a slice of Lagos. Again, I want to recognize all the governors here, led by our own very Prince Dapo Abiodun, and all the governors here for supporting Mr. Governor on this big partnership that works. And particularly the governor of Niger State, who from day one has taken on this fight. And why are we recognizing them? Because it seems difficult to actually understand simple things in Nigeria. But we thank God that this time around we are having leaders led by Mr. President recognizing this. On the fund, I want to thank Mr. Governor again for taking the leadership, because we said if we complete this logistics hub, one of the challenges we are going to have is organized supply. And if we don't put a fund around it, we are actually not helping the aggregators, because there are aggregators that will come in between the farmers and the hub and the market. And what we have seen from our study of over 10 years in my 12 market is that the guy that brings his fruits from Taraba will come to the my 12 market, waits until the items are sold, and sometimes it takes 3 weeks before he gets the money back, and even don't get the money back completely. So with this fund, the aggregators can get their cash on the go as they supply these items. This, I think, is the most pivotal change that we are seeing in the Nigerian food system. And if we just go on this way, and by the grace of God, by December, when we complete the logistics hub, we will complete by November, we expect dry run to start in September. With the dry run commencing, we are hoping and believing that we'll start with yams from Niger. We are focused on that because of the high volume of yam that we have coming into Lagos and the high consumption. And we have seen from the studies that the Niger State yam is actually the highest consumed in Nigeria. And like I was telling the livestock minister who spoke earlier, that Lagos State consumed 323,000 tons of beef annually. That is an estimated 1.5 million cattle yearly. And that simply at an average of 250 to 300 tons per live carcass. And how can we have this market and these people are not patronizing it and we are not getting financing? But again, when Olumide was speaking, when he was going, I said, look, you are here. We want to see you support this program, and we want to thank him for deciding to support this initiative. Already the fund has aggregated and has commitment of over 100 billion naira. And we are believing God that in the next 3 months, we'll reach our expected 500 billion in the fund. But how can you partner? How can you participate? And every farmer, every market woman, every large aggregator can benefit from the fund. I believe that Sholape will soon come up to speak to the fund, who is also very committed and has done so much in putting together this fund with us from the beginning. So again, I want to tell us that please, we need more support, particularly as we go on this project. Agriculture requires more collaboration, more partnership for it to work, and that's why it has eluded Nigeria for some time now. Thank you very much, Mr. Governor, and thank you all for coming. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Someone accused me, why didn't I give him time? I said something clearly. The only exemption here is when you come over to mention billions, either in cash or in support. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together for Prince S.J. Samuel? Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have been waiting for is here. If you call him Mr. Sellable, fine. You call him Mr. Tourism, good. Today, he is wearing the cap of a farmer. And so, with your kind permission, I'd like to invite to the podium to give us his keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Mr. Babajide Olushola Aduragbemi Sanwo-Olu, the Governor of Lagos State. Please shall we put our hands together as we welcome him to speak to us.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Thank you very much. It's true, it's such a large crowd. I also cannot see the... thank you very much to all of our guests at the back, all the Obonge farmers. They are here. You see, those are my people. They think there are no farmers in Lagos. Obonge farmers, are you there? Yes, no farmer, no nation. Abi? Thank you very much. They are all very hardworking female farmers, and they are extremely very, very resourceful. Your Excellencies, all my colleagues that have turned up here individually and with representation, let me please also beg of you to let me adopt the very, very well-established protocol because of time. I know that we all need other engagement later today. And please permit me that I am extremely, extremely happy that you've created the time from your very, very busy schedule. I know how difficult, even this morning, for you to embark on aircraft and airline journeys. Thank you all very, very much. To all of our distinguished members of the Federal Executive Council, the National Assembly members, our chairman, all of our members, our friends from the private sector, our traditional institution, our security operatives led by number 1 security personnel who had come to validate all of what we're doing here, and to all of our citizens of Lagos and by extension our country, let me please plead with you to let me adopt all the well-established protocol because of the joy and the happiness that I'm sure you've all sensed here today, and that I'm truly pleased with. And gentlemen of the press who are also giving the coverage, I'm sure you have not given enough recognition. Thank you very much, gentlemen of the press. You are here in your large number. I stand here a true proud Nigerian and Lagosian, but I stand here with a deep sense of fulfillment that I want to welcome all of you to the official launch of the Produce for Lagos 500 billion Offtake Guarantee Fund. Today is what I shared moment in the shared commitment of our achieving food security for our state and for our nation, for our inclusive prosperity, and for us to have a sustainable growth, not just for Lagos, but for our dear country, Nigeria. Our commitment to food systems transformation began way back in 2019, when the people of Lagos delivered to us our first mandate to serve. As part of our development and governance agenda, we initiated a comprehensive investigation on food flows and consumption patterns of our state. That research revealed that many of us already know but have never quantified it, that Lagos is Nigeria's largest food market. We consume over 50% of the entire food that is traded in the southwest part of the country. We have a food economy that is valued at over 6 trillion. And we see it today being standing at over 16 trillion. The research also revealed something incredible, that it is a fact that Lagos also loses nearly 50% of its food between the harvest markets, largely due to poor storage and inefficient transportation. Then came 2020 with the global COVID-19 pandemic, which exposed Lagos and other parts of the country as highly dependent on food imports, and therefore we became very vulnerable to global supply and food chain. it became clear and apparent that we must transform our food system to ensure that Lagos can feed its people sustainably, both now and in the future. This led us in 2021 to launch what we call the Lagos State Agricultural and Food Systems Roadmap, which was our robust plan for addressing structural weaknesses within the food system, particularly post-harvest losses, poor logistics, and supply chain gaps that we noticed. And so to implement that roadmap, we significantly increased our budgetary provision, which in 2019 was under 5 billion. Today, with the support of our House of Assembly and all the stakeholders, we now see a budget getting close to 100 billion today from our state treasury on the agriculture, and we're not even an agri-producing state. This for us was a bold affirmation that food is economic infrastructure, is deserving of the same attention that we have given roads, we have given school, and we have given all sorts of infrastructure development. And therefore, to reinforce this commitment, in 2024, we renamed our Ministry of Agriculture to our Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems, an intentional step to reflect the complexity and integration that we now see on the demand side for food security as a clear strategy for us as a government. This renewed commitment, therefore, is fully aligned, in our view, with the national policy on agriculture. And I want to thank all the members of the Federal Executive Council that have come here to support us, that have speak to reinforce the commitment of the vision of our President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on the Renewed Hope agenda. Your statements and your speeches here today reinforce and confirm that we're all on the same page. We're the same coin. We could be on two different sides of the same coin, and we're working together for Nigeria's prosperity. And we want to thank you very, very much for coming out and for turning out in large number, from the Minister of Livestock, the youngest, who has all of the statistics, to the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, to the Minister of State for Finance, and to all of the other heads of federal government agencies that have joined us here today. Thank you all very much. On our journey, we have seen the Onje-Eko discount market, which at some point we had this discount market in about 57 local locations in our state. We've launched over $1 billion to ensure that Onje-Eko farmers subsidy program sometime last year and the year before. You see the picture of our central food security systems, which is in Ketu Rinyu in Ekpe, which we believe will be the largest logistics hub that will ever be constructed in the whole of West Africa, in the entire sub-Saharan Africa, once it's completed before the end of the year. You've also seen the middle-level market. We have one operational now in Ijoro, and we're building 5 others concurrently in different parts of the state. The one we showed you is in Aja. We have another one in Agege, so that the speaker will be very happy with us. We have to ensure that in Agege, we go to Festac, we go to Ikeja by Okwebi. We're also doing another one in Lagos Island, so that my own people too in Lagos Island will be happy, with us. So we have 6 of them that are with, which we call the middle-level market, that are being dotted all around different parts of the state. And so we see the Lagos Agri Scholars Program also as an initiative that is meant to expose our students at the secondary school level on what we call sustainable skills for them to be able to develop interest in agriculture. The Agro Mechanization Program, the Lagos Agri Value Chain Enterprise Activation Program, the Igodu Feedlot Project for cattle ranch, as well as in the new food hub. We have a food hub bill, which is being considered by the Lagos State House of Assembly. All of this initiative is meant to formalize our food and market operations and reduce informal trading, and all of the constraints and the problems that we see. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, The Produce for Lagos program, which we are launching here today, is therefore the next level, which is the logical step that we want to be able to tick on our roadmap. The program will provide guaranteed offtake contracts. It will help to finance access. It will help to create logistics support. It will help to connect directly to the Lagos dynamic food economy. It will certainly boost agricultural production. It will reduce reliance on informal and uncoordinated supply channels. It will definitely create millions and millions of jobs for our young people, and it will eventually increase the economic returns for all of us in the entire ecosystem and every stakeholder in the agri value chain. And so you can see that it's an end-to-end, well-thought-out initiative that we're here launching. We believe that when we implement all of this, it will help us through the Lagos State Food System Infrastructure Company, LASFICO, which is also supported by an SPV with the likes of the Lagos Bulk Trading Company, the Ecolog Logistics on the Produce for Lagos hub. You saw outside, which we're going to launch, we're going to have over 150 just as a test, 40-foot trucks, and like it's been said, they are all on LNG. They can travel to the farthest part of the country on just a full tank and return back to Lagos without needing to look for any petrol station because they are all being driven on LNG. And I think this is the first of its type, which is a big initiative for us as a country and as a state. And so for us, the 500 billion is just a tip. And you begin to see that some of our friends in the private sector are beginning to show numbers. And like we said, even before we got here, we've gotten commitments of over 100 billion naira already. Some of them are seated here. They might not want to come forward to re-emphasize it, but I can assure you that even before we came in here today, we've gotten commitments of over 100 billion. And so the conversation is around Taraba and Niger and Kogi, who takes them home. Taraba is here saying to me that he's happy because half of that will go with him. Niger pulls me from this other side and says that more than half of it will go. Ogun, my brother from Gateway, also says that he's going to take care of all my chicken feeds and all of that. He wants part of it. My brother from Kogi says that he's now the real food basket. He wants part of it. For us, it's a all positive conversation. My brother from Jigawa couldn't come, but Malaji Farouk is here. They also want to be part of it. So it is a conversation that everybody that truly really wants to participate in an end-to-end food logistics hub, this is the fund for you. This is the opportunity for you. There is no PDP or APC or everybody. It is a Nigerian conversation. It's a Nigerian story, and that is what Mr. President wants all of us to do. The fund, like we said, is not a subsidy, it's an investment vehicle that will catalyze the private capital. It will stabilize food prices, and it will help completely de-risk agricultural operation across the value chain. What we're doing here is that we're creating a whole new agricultural ecosystem, and one that will rise from the demands of today and of tomorrow to combining our policy that will be well focused, to creating a financing model that would outlive us, and building infrastructure that will live even for generations that are coming behind us, and ensuring that we have a robust database that everybody can work on. I want to also thank the military, who the CDS has come forward to say that, they want to support us. And while we're having a conversation, even before we came here, all of my colleagues from other states were very enthused and they're very encouraged that even for the farmers, the optics for us here, that the entire military is even supporting them, gives credence and gives confidence to all of our farmers, and all of the issues that we have, that the military and all of our security forces are behind us, and ensure that everybody now needs to go to farm and go and farm, knowing fully well that they are well secured. Lagos is ready and willing to offtake from them, and will continue to create, the business that we're all asking for. All of these interventions, we believe, will be guided by credible data. And there is no other person, Minister for Digital Economy, and said that everything we're doing must also come on a digital platform. I want to assure you that we'll help create that digital platform. Lagos, we're developing a comprehensive food data repository that will be able to help. It will tell us exactly how much food we consume, where it's coming from, and who is producing it, which will help us for planning purposes today and tomorrow. With this information, the produce for Lagos, I see it turning to produce for Nigeria at some point very, very soon. Will stimulate, will help us organize production, will ensure that all of our states have a sustainable, all year round food supply. And by the way, we're not done yet. In the coming months, and the pictures that were shown us, before December, we will also be inviting some of us, as we begin to launch a series of infrastructure that we've been building for the past 4 or 5 years. There will be state-of-the-art logistics hub, like I said, will be the biggest logistics hub in the entire sub-Saharan Africa. We'll be inviting you. We'll also be opening up all of our middle market, because how it works is that from the supply chain, when it gets into the logistics, big logistics hub, they can now move to the middle level market, and from there they can also now move to all of our corner stores, and you can see that the entire value chain is preserved, so nobody is lost out. All of our market women, and market men, I said to them, we are able to formalize and reorganize them. All of our people, in Mile 12 market, this is for them. It's about them. It's about ensuring that they can walk and they can see the benefit of an organized market. It is not a case where when they are bringing tomato, they will stay in Gateway State. They will park by Prince Dapo Abiodun. They will park by your state, Prince Dapo. They will park by your state, which you know. They will stay on the express road. They will be calling us at Mile 12 market. Is it 22,000 naira now? When it gets to 50,000, call us. So we will wait for the price to go up to 75,000. They will now bring it down. They want to over. No, that won't happen. We'll take everything. We'll not let it stop. We'll go and store it. And we'll ensure that, the prices come down, the risk is reduced, and we can preserve, the entire supply end to end. And so what we see from Benue State, the renewed food market of our nation, to Niger State, with its vast, fertile lands of rice, rich rice valley, to Taraba State, that has a very robust, climate-friendly highlands of farming and tea plantation, to Ogun State, a key agro-industrial processing zone, to Kogi State, which is now also striving to be the cassava and the poultry belt, to Oyo State, to all of us with a strong tradition in food processing and large-scale production. Also in Kano and Kaduna, nobody is left behind. We're forging a structured partnership that is aimed to seamlessly link the nation's major production zones with its largest and most dynamic consumption center, Lagos State. This is the whole system that was looked, and is a whole entire system approach. We need everyone on the table. We need the private sector, we need the professors, we need the farmers, we need the finance people, we need the policy makers, we need the tech experts, we need everybody on the table. And as we close, I told a friend, food system transformation is not just a marathon, it is a relay race. Each stage of this journey builds on the last one. Somebody must hand over the baton for the next person and for the next person, because not one person can start and end it all throughout. So it's seen as a relay race. Before I close, let me also take time to thank all your excellencies that have come here. You will have your space, for a few comments and tell us all the things that you're doing, in your state, and be able to also give you a few remarks. But I want to thank you all very much for creating the time and for showing great leadership, for coming here to support us, for coming here to say that this is real partnership that has worked, and we believe that this will signpost and will encourage our president to continue to do the great work that he's doing, and his ministers that are here. I want to thank all of you, please, for coming out here. I also want to thank our private sector support from Origin, Prince Samuel. People think that we don't fight. We fight a lot. I bang the phone on him. I walk him out of my office. I tell him he's not doing well, that we can do this quicker, faster, and better. Sammy is here. You know how much work we are fighting ourselves, but we are all here together, and we are here today to ensure that we can build and we can build on this. And to my entire team in the Ministry of Agriculture and Food System, from very, very hardworking Honorable Commissioner to the Special Advisor on Agriculture. Hello. Oh, they have their crowd here. For Ministry of Agriculture and Food System, thank you very much. You know, you are doing a great work for us. To all of our traditional institutions here, you can see that you are having a bright new horizon in your state. It is not just that we're providing opportunity for our children, we're actually helping to secure their future and ensuring that food security, which is one of the very critical levels of security, is not left, untouched. I want to thank all of our development partners, our National Assembly members. Please continue to support us. Our regulatory bodies, captains of industry, our capable farmers nationwide, and everybody on the relevant value chain. Let us go forth and produce for Lagos. Let us rise together to feed this nation. Not just to feed it, but to feed this nation on a sustainable manner. Let us collaborate across borders. Let us build a resilient infrastructure. Let us see support coming from every angle. Let us secure the food future of our states, of our country. Let us lead, let us inspire. Let us grow for prosperity, for our people, and for the greatness of our country. It's been an honor to be part of this event here today. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. Indeed, Ìgbéga Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa ni. Thank you very much, Mr. Innovation, Mr. Future-Driven Governance, Mr. Education, Mr. Healthcare, and now Mr. Food Security and Agricultural Reform. Mr. Sellable, thank you very much, Mr. Governor, for all that you do for Lagos State and, of course, by extension, all that you do for Nigeria. Of course, we thank the other governors who are here as well. Thank you for being a true partner in progress and for being a patriot supporting all that is happening in Lagos today. Produce for Lagos today, produce for Nigeria tomorrow, because the vision is getting even bigger. Thank you all so much. You may please be seated. Now, we will take a cultural troop very quickly, but just to announce that right after the cultural troop, they have 5 minutes. We have an expanded fireside chat with 5 of our governors who are present, and we have an able moderator who will steer that conversation. But right about now, what is a celebration without a cultural display? So we're celebrating today because it's indeed a day of joy. It's a remarkable and historic day here in Lagos, Nigeria, the center of excellence and the state of aquatic splendor. I'm honored to invite for a quick 5-minute cultural display the Lagos State Council for Arts and Culture. A round of applause. Lagos State Council for Arts and Culture for that wonderful presentation. Thank you. It was a lot longer than this, but we had to cut it short. We know that you would enjoy the presentation outside. We have to move on very quickly and take the expanded fireside chat with 5 of our governors who are sat here, and of course we have an able moderator who will steer the conversation today. I'm honored to invite on stage our moderator, who will be upstage to receive the executive members of this expanded fireside chat. Our moderator is the Chief Executive Officer of Energy Inc. Advisors, and she's the host of Business Week on Arise News. Please let's make welcome on stage Mrs. Relive Filani. A round of applause for her. All right, thank you. This is a very powerful fireside chat, well, expanded fireside chat, and I'm now inviting on stage the governor of the Gateway States, Prince Dapo Abiodun, MFR-CON. Please let's make welcome His Excellency Prince Dapo Abiodun, Governor of Ogun State. Press and media would like to crave your indulgence to please clear the way to the stage as we invite the executive members of this power side chat for their conversation. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let's celebrate the Governor of Ogun State, His Excellency Prince Dapo Abiodun, MFR-CON, as he joins Mrs. Relive Filani on stage for this fireside chat conversation. Thank you. Coming up to join him is the Governor of the Confluence State, Kogi State, His Excellency Ahmed Usman Ododo. A round of applause for him. Thank you very much. This is indeed a power-packed panel, and we're looking forward to the conversation. Next, we have the Governor of the Power State, Niger State, His Excellency Farmer Dr. Mohammed Umaru Bago. A round of applause for the Governor of Niger State. Thank you. Don't get tired of clapping, please. We also have joining this conversation the Governor of the Nature's Gift to the Nation, Taraba State, His Excellency Dr. Abu Kefas. A round of applause for the Governor of Taraba State, His Excellency Dr. Abu Kefas. And now to join this panel conversation, the chief host today, the Governor of the Center of Excellence and the State of Aquatic Splendor, our Governor, Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. A round of applause for all of them, all of our executive members of this panel conversation, as we get ready to hand over to our able moderator who will steer the conversation from here. We're looking forward to a truly insightful conversation as they dig deeper into the theme of this conversation. Thank you so much. What will happen? What is the way forward? And what has been built? So we will pass on the microphones that will be handed over to all our executive members right now. But just to get everyone to be seated, let's be comfortably seated as we have all of our governors on stage and of course our moderator who is ready to steer the conversation from here.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Mujibade. Distinguished guests, standing on all existing protocols. We're going to delve right into the conversation. You know, there's a saying that too many cooks spoil the broth. But when you have the right governors in the kitchen, they just might feed the whole nation. So I'm really excited to have everyone here today. Just to set some context in the opportunity, we know what Lagos State is doing. We know what Lagos State stands for. We know it's the it accounts for around 50% of all food distributed in southern Nigeria. Meanwhile, in Niger State last year generated over $600 billion in agricultural output, which suggests 600 billion naira. Everybody's talking dollars today, but I guess that's not an impossible ambition. We also know that Taraba State, with over 44,000 kilometers square of arable land, is bringing something just as valuable. Recently, they announced the launch of the University of Tropical Agriculture. And then what about Kogi and Ogun? Kogi State is demonstrating what scale and ambition can look like, allocating over 30,000 hectares of farming across 11 communities. And of course, Ogun State is also leading in digitization with a recent partnership with MTN. So These are the right stakeholders in the room, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and this fund will only work if all states work together to produce at scale. So let's just dive deep into the discussion. I'd like to start with you, Your Excellency, Governor Sanwo-Olu. How does this initiative really align with your vision for food security in the state? It's actually a game changer. And what is it signaling to the investment community, to producers, to aggregators, and to financiers across the country?
Well, thank you very much. Once again, to thank my colleague, my brother governors for joining in this very important fire chat. Like I said earlier, the potential in Lagos is about a 15 trillion food market. That's huge. That is more than GDP of some country. And that is what we're putting forward. That's the opportunity we're putting on the table, for everyone to be part of that bigger conversation. But we want to do it in a more structured manner. We want to do it in a more predictable. We want to be able to de-risk, some of the challenges that we believe we currently have in the country from different parts, of the country. That's the conversation that we want to start, right? And we know that we cannot do it by ourselves. We cannot do it on our own. That's why we need everybody. That's why I need all of my brothers. So it's a win-win situation that we're creating. We are creating an ecosystem where both the producers and the consumers, meet each other, and we can, develop a market an opportunity, an economic market that has never been seen before, in the country. And like I said, everybody has to come on board to this, from our various state governments to the federal agencies to our private sector funders to the farmers themselves, organizing themselves and knowing fully well that this is how to grow, this is how to do it. So for me, it is really a channel of opportunity that this is created for all of us, and for all of us to be able to, ask what are the things that we require from each other to make this work. And that's why you can see, almost every region in the country is there seated, from the southwest to the north central, to the northeast, and so we are talking to everybody, and there's so many other people that are in the audience that have come from different states. So everybody must take something back to see how we get this work. And so Lagos is ready, and Lagos being ready, meaning we actually can help this country, and we're indeed excited with what we're talking about here today. Thank you.
Thank you. A round of applause for His Excellency Governor Sanwo-Olu, spoken so passionately. It's clear that if the biggest demand market is going to guarantee offtake, then the producers have no choice but to invest and scale their production. So I'd like to come to you, Your Excellency Mohammed Bago, fondly known as the farmer governor. It's clearly a very personal passion of yours, and we know the achievements in Niger State. How do you see this initiative aligning with your own ambition to become the food capital of the country?
Thank you very much. I didn't come here for grammar. I came here to collect check. So that was what brought me here, to collect check from Lagos State Food and Logistics, so that we can continue the partnership. But that aside, this is wonderful. This is history that has been made in Nigeria. And I'm sure the president will be watching us now and be proud of this generation of governors. We have traveled with the president across the globe in quest for investment in agriculture and livestock. So when I saw Produce for Lagos, I said, no, I'm farming for Lagos. So I have kept 100,000 hectares now for Lagos only. So I will farm only Lagos food. So if it's what you want, I will do for you. So whatever you want on that land, I will do for you. This morning, we just flew from Abidjan, and I went to the African Rice. It's a very good research center.
to get high-yield rice seeds so that we can produce more for Lagos. Lagos is the highest consumer of rice. So we have seen market. Niger State wants to key into this initiative to support Governor Sanwo-Olu in providing the needed food for Lagosians. I'm not even ambitious to export food again. This market is enough for me. The malu, the goats, all, I'll bring them here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think what is really interesting about what you said is the fact that if you have Lagos, you don't even need an export market because the demand is really solid. And it brings me next to Taraba State, Your Excellency Dr. Abdul Kefas. We know the bold steps you're taking. We know about the University of Tropical Agriculture that's just been set up. You're actually pioneering technology-driven food production. So let's hear your take on how Taraba State is aligning its own agri and food security system to supply Lagos and other parts of Nigeria.
Firstly,
I want to thank my brother, the governor of Lagos State, for this national initiative. Usually, I don't attend programs just like that, but I'm here because this is a national concern, and Taraba State is very critical. Taraba State is in the center of food security. It's the center of everything that Nigeria needs to prove to the world of our natural capacity. I don't like making too much emphasis about Taraba because many people I hear they forget that there is a state in Nigeria, very important, critical state in Nigeria called Taraba State. And in Lagos State, we have a lot of Taraba indigenes that are businessmen here. All the very sweet and important fat red meat that you are seeing in Lagos, they are all from Taraba. The Minister for Livestock can testify to that. So all I have to say here today is that this initiative is not just timely, it is very strategic. And because when we talk about solving Nigerians' food concern, we must talk about Taraba. And that is why the governor was able to identify Taraba and ensure that I sit by his right hand side while the governor of Niger State sits on the left hand side. Just like they've said, we have about 54,000 square kilometers of land and 5.6 million hectares of fertile and unutilized opportunity waiting for Nigeria in Taraba. You can go and look for it anywhere you will find that. And recently I've launched what we call Taraba State Initiative for Farmland and Forest Occupation. And I'm also doing that in conjunction with the National Security Advisors to ensure that the initiative of the federal government on the issue of foreign gas is being actualized. And we are working on that and ensuring that the state is very secured, investors are secured. And recently we launched Taraba Harvest, which so many investors were present because they know that Taraba has all that, not only Lagos needs, but the whole world. In Sadana local government alone, where you have the plateau, it sits on 7,000 feet above sea level, with temperature as low as 13 degrees. So that's premium climate for dairy and livestock farming. And we are working on that. Recently, I've approved the establishment of Taraba State University for Agriculture, Science, and Climate Change. So we are working seriously, reorganizing our state to fill in the gap
that the partners that work initiator was talking about when he came on stage. So you can see, or I will tell you that Nigerians, 22 million cattle, Taraba State has 6 million out of the 22 million cattle. Our rainfall varies beautifully from under 1,000 millimeters in the north to over 2 millimeters in our southern forest. So you can see that Taraba is suitable for all that you need when it comes to food security. And our recent harvest is this. Rice has moved from 800,000 to 1. Is addressing reliable off-takers, processing infrastructures, and post-harvest system. And the Lagos State Governor has just done justice to that. And I'm happy to be part of this. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. I have to say, I'm really loving the innovation in Taraba. I see you also just recorded your first bumper harvest from greenhouse farming. So that's incredible. But you've also given us a red meat competition here. So the competition is not just for arable land, but for red meat. I'd like to come over to you, Your Excellency Ahmed Usman Ododo of Kogi State. Kogi State is doing a lot around land restoration. We heard about the 11 locations, and you're also deploying smart agricultural training. Can you tell us a bit about those initiatives and how you're positioning to scale your production in light of the Produce for Lagos initiative? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Just like my brother from Niger said, I'm not here to talk too much. I'm here to get that fund to take back to my state. As we all know, let me first of all appreciate my brother, His Excellency Governor Sanwo-Olu, for this wonderful initiative. This is very, very historic in the life of our nation. And of course, we should all applaud and appreciate Mr. President for letting us going back to those things that we know what to do best. At what point do we lose it? Agriculture is the solution. And of course, we appreciate him because his programs and policies on food security is yielding results. Kogi State, as a gateway state, as we all know, we border 10 states, including FCT. And as such, this very program, I think my brother, you just invited some of my brothers to come and help me, to come and support me here. This project is for Kogi State, and I'll tell you, Kogi State borders 10 states. We have arable land that is good for every product or crops production. And of course, in terms of mineral deposit, we have over 32 mineral deposit in commercial quantity that has never been worked for us. But I see this as a mutual investment in people, productivity, and prosperity, thereby guaranteeing food security, drive down the prices of foods, and of course, generate job opportunity for the younger ones. The whole program, my brother, I want to tell you that the market is in Kogi State. The truck outside, about 100 trucks, I'm expecting over 60 in Kogi State because you can easily navigate to the south, to the west, to the east, and across the nation without necessarily traveling down to Lagos State to save or store that product because the market is there. We have been leaving our problem
unattended to. But by this initiative, I can tell you, as your servant, you have taken a bold step in addressing the challenges of insecurity, unemployment in our dear nation. I want to let you know that Kogi State produces, Lagos State consumes. When we work together, what we achieve is food security, market stability, and inclusive growth. I want to assure you that this very investment, 70% of it, Kogi State is ready to take it off and we will thrive very wonderfully. For example, last year alone, because we have leave our problem with us, forgetting agriculture, everybody wants to be governor, we want to be senator, we want to be councillor, leaving the main issue with us. But with this very bold step, I think we have taken the right step in the right direction. Last year alone, Kogi State lost 86 billion naira of cashew production to an unknown investor. But with this very initiative now, I can bet you Kogi State will be ready to provide that produce to Lagos State, thereby generating and improving our internally generated revenue for us to address some of the challenges we are faced with. Federal government alone cannot do it. We must work together as a servant of our people to get their problems solved. And I thank the CDS for that wonderful speech. With this, the farmers should be rest assured that there will be security that will cover them right from the farm to the market. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and especially for highlighting the characteristic features of Kogi State that make it actually quite strategic. I'd like to come to you, Your Excellency, Prince Dakwa Bioju of Ogun State. Ogun State and Lagos State share a very special relationship. Aside from being the state that is in closest proximity to Lagos out of the states on this panel represented here, you're also pursuing a very highly data-driven agribusiness sector in the state. Can you tell us how you will leverage those sort of technological initiatives to tap into this strategic scheme that Lagos State has launched?
Thank you very much. Let me first appreciate my brother, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, His Excellency Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and I'm using him as a point of courtesy to all the other executive governors and deputy governors and all other distinguished and eminent guests that have come from far and near, including the CDS, to be part of this very proactive, very bold, very audacious initiative of the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration. I think this is indeed very commendable. Like they say a vision without an implementation plan is nothing but hallucination. Babajide Sanwo-Olu indeed has a vision to ensure food sovereignty, not just in Lagos State, but in Nigeria, and he has ensured that he's backed that up with identifiable implementation steps, and I want to commend you for that. And what I see here is something that makes me feel a very high sense of nostalgia. When I assumed office on the 29th of May 2019, I found in my handover notes that there was something called the Anchor Borrowers Program, which the CBN was implementing. I immediately embraced it. I decided to tweak it. And let me tell you what the Anchor Borrowers Program is. It was a program that the CBN had where the fund identified farmers who are matched with an anchor. An anchor is an off-taker. So a tripartite agreement is signed between central bank, the farmer, the state government, and of course the anchor. And immediately I realized that this was a way of giving our farmers the confidence that they deserve and the funding that will allow them to produce.
So we identified these anchors, which are off-takers, be it oil arms, be it flour mills, and so on and so forth. We matched them with the farmers and CBN, and we guaranteed this borrowing. So what now happened was that when the off-taker was now ready to pay the farmers, they would deduct the cost of the inputs and of course the cost of financing. In no time, the Ogun State Farmers Association did not require the guarantee of government any longer. They were so disciplined and responsible, such that CBN began to avail them those funds, and they were guaranteeing themselves. What we are seeing today is a mega digital form of the agro-processors program, the 500 billion naira guarantee fund for farmers. And I want to again say that this is a game changer, and we in Ogun State, we actually believe that since this is already sounding like a deals room where every state governor is saying this money is for them, all I'm going to say is that Ogun State, like you rightly remarked, is not just the only neighbor that Lagos has, but the closest neighbor that Lagos has. And we all know that we are the spillover for Lagos. So anything produced in Ogun State will arrive in Lagos with the lowest cost of transportation. And let me tell you, we are so far ahead of the game. In Ogun State, we have what we call the Ogun State Farmers Information Management System. I'm sure Governor Sowolu will wonder, and what is that? That is a system that we're on the only state in Nigeria that has it. It's a dashboard that allows us to identify all our farmers in Ogun State. And today we have 160,000 farmers registered on that dashboard. We know who they are. We know what they grow. We know whether they are male or female or youth, such that when we needed to intervene in terms of providing inputs and fertilizers and subsidies for our farmers, we did that scientifically, which explains why today Ogun State is one of the few states that has the lowest food inflation. And today we are the number one producer of cassava in Nigeria, we're the number one producer of eggs in Nigeria, we're the number one producer of poultry in Nigeria, we're the number one producer of rice in the southwest. Please clap for Ogun State. What am I trying to say? Ogun State is ready for this funding. We have farmers who are already aggregated in a scientific manner. So you can avail them with the funds. They are disciplined and they will indeed pay back. Now, what Governor Sowolu has done here, besides being proactive and audacious, is he's de-risking agriculture, which of course now incentivizes the whole process. Earlier when he was speaking, he was telling you about food inflation. Food inflation, we found out that it was not the non-availability of food, but the middleman syndrome, where food will be coming from Ogun State or from Oyo State, and they will stay maybe in Kara or Ogiri and call my trouble and say, how much is tomato this morning? They say, okay, no, just wait. They keep on calling until when they see that there's scarcity of tomato in my trove, then they now send in the trucks back. And this will go a long way, because this fund will be available to the farmers. The farmers can produce as much as they need to produce and be assured that their produce will be off-taken. It's on record that about 50% of all produce is wasted between farm and market. This will go a long way to ensure not just food security, food sovereignty, create employment, generate revenue. Again, I want to salute Governor Sanwo-Olu, the entire popular government of Lagos State, the Origin Group, on this very laudable initiative. We're keen into it and we'll work with you. God bless Lagos State, God bless Ogun State, God bless Niger, God bless Benue, God bless Taraba, God bless Nigeria. Thank you
very much, Your Excellency.
God bless
We're going to wrap up the panel, but I'd just like to give 30 seconds each, please, to each of the governors. I think this initiative is the boldest initiative, in my opinion, yet that's coming out of Lagos State. And I think beyond just the agricultural and economic impact, it has the potential to set a new benchmark for statewide collaboration across Nigeria. So starting with you, Your Excellency Governor Sanwo-Olu, what is the one call to action you would like to perhaps make to the federal government in terms of how this initiative can help drive a broader look at Nigeria's sovereign food economy? So just one thing, 30 seconds if you may, and I'll ask the same to the other governors. Thank you very much.
I think there is no other thing but to thank Mr. President, and that's what I said in my speech. You could see that they had a full representation, I think today's event. I mean, 5-6 cabinet members coming to validate and to identify what we're doing. They've taken notes, they've shared opinions and ideas with us. I just want to commend Mr. President. He's our father, he's our leader, he's the one that birthed a lot of the initiatives that we're doing in Lagos. To say that we, his subjects, his governors, have also keyed in and we're rolling with this, that once we start this, he also just, as usual, give us the needed support that we all expect, and he will see, how we all can take this. I mean, Niger and I were on this trip with him and the other day, and we have, one of the things we say is that the president has no state. He has 36 states, and so we are the ones that would make all of this happen, and that's what we all. I want to thank him for creating the enabling environment, and to say that this is just our own attempt at ensuring that we're fitting into the vision that he has for the nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Same to Your Excellency Mohammed Bago of Niger State.
This conversation has been there for a long time between myself and Lagos. I want to tell you that Produce for Lagos, today Niger State, through its SPV, the Niger Foods, is building the largest greenhouse estate in Africa. And these greenhouse estates are going to be built, are being built in the Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Airport. It means the vegetables and the fruits that you need in Lagos will be delivered both by freight, by flight, and by vehicles. So we are ready for this market, very, very ready. Secondly, the regime for killing animals here in abattoir, bloody, will be passed. With the cold storage facilities, we will terminate every livestock coming to Lagos from the north, in Mokwa Ranch, and now slaughter for Lagos and the southwest. So the regime of carrying Malu up and down has passed. Let's do the dirty work for you. So that's why we're excited about this partnership.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Mohammed Baga. I'll come to Your Excellency Dr. Kefas of Taraba State. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know the governor of Lagos State as a serious-minded person, and that is why I'm here to align with him. The governor of Kogi was making emphasis on other resources. I want to say here that beyond agriculture, Taraba is equally rich in untapped energy and mineral wealth. So we have vast hydropower resources with so many rivers connected that we can build mini grids to ensure energy for most of our products that are coming from the state and other investors that would like to come into Taraba. And also it will interest you to know, for those that don't know where Taraba is located, Taraba has border with Adamawa State, Benue State, Nasarawa State, Bauchi State, Gombe State, Benue State, and Cameroon. Recently, I visited the federal government project initiated by Mr. President for the first time in the history of Nigeria to link Taraba State, especially people from the Sardauna local government area, that's the Mambila Plateau, to Cameroon, and the project is going on very well. So you can get to Cameroon with everything we have from Taraba. So I want to really thank the governor for this initiative, and I'm waiting patiently to sign this MOU so that we can move into action. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And I'll come to you now, Your Excellency, the Governor of Kogi State, around the call to action around sovereign food economy in Nigeria. 30 seconds, please, sir.
Thank you very much. As I've said, we cannot stop appreciating Mr. President. When you have a sincere leader, a committed father that is ready to lead from the front sincerely, the result is what we are here witnessing today. His program in agriculture is already paying off. You know, before he came on board, the problem we are trying to solve today was not caused by him, it was an inherited problem. He inherited this economic crisis, but he has taken a very bold step to let us know that we should go back to what we know how to do best. That is the only way we can solve our problem. And I want to particularly appreciate and thank my brother, my colleague, His Excellency Governor Sanwo-Olu, for this very, very, very symbolic initiative. It's a bold step, it's hard to be taken, but we have taken it, and I know we are going to succeed. In Kogi State, we are building the largest livestock service center in Africa, and very soon, Mr. President will come for the commissioning. That is commitment, that is seriousness. That is a vision of Mr. President which all the sub-nationals have keyed into his renewed hope agenda so that we can jointly and together pull ourselves out of this economic crisis. Kogi states are the most safest state in the northern Nigeria, and I want to stress it, Mr. Governor, that with Kogi State, this investment is 100% safe and guaranteed. I want to urge you and I want to let you know that it shouldn't be only in Kogi State, in Lagos State. Try as much as possible to have a reserve or storage center across the region, the six geopolitical region, so that when you offtake from Kogi State, it won't cost you anything much to get to the final consumer.
Thank you.
I want to assure you that Kogi State is 100% ready to collaborate with you, because this collaboration will not only benefit the two states but the entire nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we'll now go to Your Excellency Priest Dapo Abiodun.
Thank you very much. I think that the call to action here is that what Lagos State has done, like I said, is truly laudable, very proactive. I think that he's taken this from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope initiative in agriculture, where the plan is to farm over 500 million hectares of land. And we saw him launching tractors and over 9,000 farm implements a few weeks ago to underscore his commitment to food sovereignty. And he says it everywhere he goes. Governor Sanwo-Olu, Governor Bago and I were with him in Brazil, and in the bilateral with President Lula, it was all about partnering for food sovereignty. I think that what Lagos has done here is something that the federal government should look into, nationalizing and creating some type of sovereign fund to guarantee food offtake. I think that is what we should be looking at. And I believe that if the federal government puts in place some fund of this nature, probably ₦1 trillion food guarantee fund, I think it will spin off the entire agricultural landscape and ensure that there's indeed food security and so food sovereignty. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and very fitting words to part. Lagos as a model for an even bigger national strategic initiative. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking this very excellent panel of governors for the conversation. This has been just more than about Lagos State, but about building a resilient national food security ecosystem. A round of applause, please, for our governors.
Thank you, and another round of applause for Mrs. Rolake Akikugbe-Filani, our moderator, who will join the picture after we have the first one with the governors. So we'll have this picture, then we'll have another one with the moderator. After that, something symbolic will happen on stage. We'll be signing an MOU, and I would also be inviting on stage the LAFCINCO technical advisor and fund CEO, Mrs. Sholakwe Hammond, to speak briefly about the fund in detail, and of course to also speak about the symbolism of the MOU that will be executed. Right after that, we will step outside for another presentation. All right, after this picture, we'll sign the MOU, and then we will, of course, concurrently listen to Mrs. Sholakwe Hammond.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to rest on the already established protocols. Many congratulations to Mr. Semebo, our own indefatigable governor of Lagos, and to the partner governors as well. So I've been asked to explain what's happening, what this fund will do, and what the Produce for Lagos initiative really is. I think we've heard in Nigeria. So Lagos is the market, but as we've heard from the various governors who are partners in this, they are the production centers, and creating this single system of everyone being able to work together benefits us all. So that's the first thing. It's produced for Lagos, but it's by everyone in the country. The second is who benefits, or who are the end beneficiaries of the fund. We have a domestic component, so those who wonder whether we have farmers in Lagos, the farmers in Lagos, can you hear me? The farmers in Lagos, are you here? Yes, thank you. The farmers in Lagos are here. We have a lot of farmers in Lagos, and one of the first things this fund wants to do is to support them to increase their food production, to be able to meet as much as 40% of the needs of the state. And then we have the upcountry portion, which we can see symbolically being represented here by the various governors. These are 4 governors, but we have other partner states. We have up to 12 partner states, but we thank the 4 governors who have been able to be here today, as well as the governors of Ondo and Jigawa who sent their representatives. So they're signing symbolically, and the fund, they're signing symbolically to provide Offtake to Lagos State before the end of the year. We've heard from Niger State, we would love to buy yams from Niger State. We've heard from the Minister for Livestock, who wants 3/4 of this fund. And we've heard from the governors of Taraba, and the governors of Ogun State, and the governors of and the governor of Niger State on all the things, and governor of Kogi State on all the things they want to collaborate with us on. The third is to talk about the fund. Who accesses the fund, and what's the fund for? So the fund is not cash disbursement. So my pocket is very full. As of today, we now have 100 billion committed out of the 500 billion, as we were topped up by 25 billion today by UBA and the Tony Elumelu Foundation. So we now have 100 billion. I think that's worthy of celebrating. And we will be working to build our 500 billion and close that fund within the next So that's the third thing. Who will then be able to, who would put money into the fund? We're inviting our financial sector and other investors to support the fund, to participate in the fund as we've seen today, so that we can build an even bigger fund. I think the Minister for State for Finance has given us a challenge to make it even $500 billion. Governor Abiodun has suggested $1 trillion naira. So we'll be looking for partners who want to work with us to implement this fund. I think the last piece is to talk about the various components. We've talked about the fund, we've talked about the market, the wholesale market that we're building in Ketwereo, which spans 420 hectares, and when completed will be the largest market in the world. Yes. Will be the largest market in the world. Right now. Yes. So we will now be presenting symbolic checks to some of our farmers. I'll read out the list. Okay. So we have Niger Food Security System and Logistics Limited, which will receive a check of 5 billion to provide yam, rice, and beef to the Lagos State markets. Please, a round of applause for Niger Foods. We have Malam Alu Agro-Allied Company, who will be receiving a check of 50 million to provide tomato, dairy, and fresh milk to Lagos. And finally, we have Apex Commodity Exchange Limited. So a round of applause for Niger Foods. Can we please invite up the chairman of Origin to join the photo session on the stage? Chairman Origin, please can you join them on stage? Can you join this historic picture, the first check from the Produce for Lagos Fund? Okay, now we have the check from Malam Alu Agro-Allied Company. Congratulations. They will be receiving a check for 50 million for tomato, dairy, and fresh milk. Finally, we have Apex Commodities Exchange Limited, receiving 2 billion for rice paddy, plantain, onion, and maize. Congratulations. So we have several other checks, but in the interest of time, we'll present them privately. My pockets are still full though, so there's a lot of money. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, and now for something symbolic, we'd like to ask that all our distinguished guests remain in the room. We are going outside to commission the Ecolog temperature-controlled fleet. But all of our very distinguished guests right in front, our royal fathers, Chief of Defense Staff, respectfully, all of our very distinguished guests would please go alongside the governors outside as we commission this. But however, to the rest of our distinguished guests, please remain in the room respectfully. It will be live streamed on the screen, so you can watch everything happening live. We don't want to keep you in the sun, so we're asking you to just remain in the room while we allow our royal fathers, the Chief of Defense Staff and the delegation, our governors who are in the room, to please make their way outside. Of course, the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly will also join the delegation outside for the official unveiling and commissioning. We will take the vote of thanks after by the Permanent Secretary, Agric and Food Systems, Emmanuel Aldu. But right now, we have to go commission and unveil.
Hello, two.
Excuse me.
Governor of Taraba. Thank you. Taraba, come. Taraba, enter. To the glory of God. To the glory of God, on behalf of all of my brother governors that are here, our traditional institutions, our various stakeholders, our private sector collaborators, our farmers, gentlemen of the press, it is indeed an honor that we want to unveil. I want the CDS to be here because it is a road movement. Please, the CDS come. CDS. Yeah, okay. Okay. Thank you. On behalf of the entire stakeholder that have turned up here today, we also want to commission and hand over to the glory of God, to the benefit of all of our stakeholders, especially our farmers, that will be the users of this entire logistics of Ecolog, which will be the first 150 CNG LNG trucks that would say can move to any part of the country, you know, with a full gas movement. We want to commission this as a signpost and as the beginning of the Produce for Lagos initiative. Thank you very much.
Sanwó-Olú ṣiṣẹ́ àrà. Ó ṣe fún wa. Ẹ̀yin ọlọ́tẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ kí bàbá ó sì. Sanwó-Olú kọ́ríkó, Sanwó-Olú kò káríkó. Sanwó-Olú káríkó, Sanwó-Olú kò káríkó. Sanwó-Olú káríkó, Sanwó-Olú kò káríkó. ti gòkè gògòrò. Olúwa ọ̀yá Sanwó-Olú kárí kó. Sanwó-Olú kárí kó. Babájídé kárí kó. Sanwó-Olú kárí kó. Sanwó-Olú kárí kó. Sanwó-Olú kárí kó. Babájídé kárí kó. Sanwó-Olú kárí kó. Ẹ̀kọ́ Akété ilé ọmọ. Ẹ̀kọ́ Akété sá ilé ọmọ. Ọ̀rọ̀ dẹ́rẹ́ kó bàbá dá. Ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ mi sá lẹ́gbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ dẹ́rẹ́ kó bàbá dá. Ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ mi sá lẹ́gbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀. Ó yá sàlẹ̀kọ́ tí ẹ rí ẹ bó ṣe kéré mọ́tò yẹn. Àwọn tó wà níbẹ̀ àwọn Èkó tí ẹ rí ẹ bó ṣe kéré mọ́tò yẹn àwọn tó wà níbẹ̀ kò ní wá o. Tó bá jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ èmi lóru èmi lóru èmi lóru èmi lóru èmi lóru èmi lóru àwọn bẹ̀rù àwọn bẹ̀rù ìfòkè tó bẹ̀rù ẹ̀rọ tó bá pàdé àwọn agbáko boko. Kékeré ká sí o. Kékeré láfi ẹ̀jì o. Kékeré láfi ẹ̀jì o. Kékeré ká pàdé o. Ẹlẹ́jọ́ pẹ̀tùpẹ̀tù o. Ní akéré sí. Pẹ̀tùpẹ̀tù o. Ẹlẹ́jọ́ pẹ̀tùpẹ̀tù o. Pẹ̀tùpẹ̀tù o. Kékeré ká pọ̀ sí o. Láfi ẹ̀jì o. Kékeré láfi ẹ̀jì o. Ọmọ wọlé o. Láfi ẹ̀jì o. Ẹlẹ́jọ́ pẹ̀tùpẹ̀tù o. Pẹ̀tùpẹ̀tù o. Àwọn òpin ìkọ́ ọdún. Ẹ̀wò pinlẹ̀ ìkọ́ ọdún. Ìjọba Sanwó-Olú ó tún pinlẹ̀ ìkọ́ ṣe Èkó ti di Greater Lagos ẹ̀jẹ̀ kó ọbẹ̀ ẹ̀yà.
Sanwó-Olú o, Babájídé o, gómìnà gbogbo Èkó bẹ lẹ́yìn rẹ̀. Wọ́n làwọn fẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà. Èyí tún kà mọ̀mọ̀, èyí tàbí ga, pòdúsọ̀ Lagos, gbogbo Èkó pátápátá. Wájú àǹfààní ọtọ́ níyì tó láàpẹrẹ. Sanwó-Olú o, gbogbo Èkó ni ọmọ ṣẹ́nìṣó. Bàbá ni bàbá ọmọ jẹ́ lọ́jọ́ gbogbo. Bàbá ni bàbá ọmọ jẹ́ nígbàkúùgbà. Sanwó-Olú, Babájídé, ọ̀pọ̀ dọ́gọ̀dọ́gọ̀jọ́, Olúṣọlá, gbogbo gómìnà Èkó.
Kárígò kárígò Sanwó-Olú kò kárígò. Kárígò kárígò Sanwó-Olú kò kárígò. Kárígò kárígò Sanwó-Olú kò kárígò. Kárígò kárígò Sanwó-Olú. Ọ̀yá Sanwó-Olú kárígò. Sanwó-Olú kárígò. Ẹ wò pinlẹ̀ ìkọ́ ọdún. Ẹ wò pinlẹ̀ ìkọ́ ọdún. Ìjọba Sanwó-Olú ó tún pinlẹ̀ Èkó ṣe Èkó ti di Greater Lagos ẹ̀jẹ̀ kó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ wò pinlẹ̀ ìkọ́